Okay, as we continue, we're now on bill number 3625.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3625 on its first reading by title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is to replace bill number 3625 on its first reading by title only. That was made by Alderman Galloway, seconded by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting to discuss bill 3625, do so by show of hands, and that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, granting White River Valley Electric Cooperative Incorporated a franchise for electric distribution. I'll be introducing this bill. The city has an opportunity to enter into a franchise agreement with this electric cooperative. The state of Missouri changed the legislation related to electric cooperatives operating inside city limits, and now they have that ability. There is a property that is at south of town at 65 and South Street that would like to utilize White River. So we have an opportunity at this time to propose a franchise agreement with this electric cooperative. Some notable things about this franchise agreement include this electric cooperative is willing to enter into the franchise by following our dark skies ordinance with all of their street lighting fixtures. They have also offered to utilize energy efficient light fixtures. Those are two requests that our Public Works Department has made and are things that benefit the community. They also will be collecting the same franchise fee as our other existing electric company, which would be 2%. And this does propose for the maximum time frame, which is 20 years. That's under state law that you have available to enter into a franchise agreement for. With that, I'm happy to answer questions. There is a representative of White River present as well.
Okay, any questions? Yes, Alderman Snyder.
Well, this proposal does give the ability for residents inside Ozark to choose them as,
If they qualify. So the state statute has some parameters to it. And just generally speaking, the electric cooperative has to be present on site or nearby. The Public Service Commission, who regulates all of this, doesn't want to duplicate service. And it gets a little more complicated than probably we can get into today, but it won't allow just a general citizen to go out and select White River unless White River is already there and servicing that site. And then they come into the city and they want to continue service with White River or establish a more robust service with White River. And with that, I would also look to the representative if they can answer that better than I can.
Good evening. I'm Cassie Cunningham, Chief Growth Officer with White River Valley Electric Cooperative. Specifically to the 1600 rule that she was referencing. So in 2021, 3 bills actually passed, changing the language a bit. Since the 80s, it was the 1500 rule. So in municipalities with inhabitants over 1500, inherently, we weren't allowed to serve. So looking more to rural areas, as cities grow and property is annexed, there's a lot that has been grandfathered in over the years. So it doesn't include that, but it has given the option, say in a situation of rebuild in a natural disaster, a tornado or something like that, instead of someone having to very costly pay to bring in additional services, they now have the option to keep the cooperative if they so choose. There is also the option for your constituents to choose prior to and during the annexation process, where they can elect to have the cooperative or the investor-owned utility that's in the area. And particularly that's voluntary or involuntary, but it's whatever is best in their situation, giving the consumer the choice, not forcing upon, in most instances, very costly situations and burdensome that could hinder projects or the like. In those instances, as she alluded, we do negotiate with the investor-owned utility for a territorial agreement, and then we take it with them and file to the PSC. So it's not really something that's user-facing that they have to deal with. But in all of these instances, in every municipality that we work with, most of the municipalities that we work with, we do have these franchise agreements in place. And to help with maintaining right-of-way easements and that. And as she alluded, for the 2%, and we are a member-facing organization, and we try to serve our member load with the most reliable and affordable power, and that's supported by a diverse energy portfolio. So we are very big with member value programs, and energy efficiency is one of them. So that's something that we are very happy to get on board with.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
Probably a simple question that
Yeah.
gets a complicated answer, but in my mind, what the consumer is going to look at is, what are you going to charge me versus what the other company charges me? How do you stack up with that, or is that too complicated a question?
I think it is dependent upon specific needs, but we are very competitive. I have yet to come up with an instance where we couldn't be competitive. A big thing about cooperatives is that we are locally owned and governed. So our board of directors is 9 individuals that are voted in by our membership. They make all the decisions locally, and they have the ability to add some flexibility to projects where they're needed to make things pencil where they may be better for the community, because we live and work here too, and commitment to community is one of our founding principles. So that's very important to the co-op. We celebrated 85 years this year, and we're just about to service 50,000 meters, over 5,500 miles of energized line, and looking to expand the opportunity, enhance the lives of the members that we serve, which is part of our mission.
Okay. Follow up on a different question. What areas does White River cover? I mean, is it several counties, or what
Yes.
areas is it?
We serve 5 counties, large parts of 5 counties: Christian, Douglas, Ozark, Stone, and Taney. So we have an office down 14 in Ozark that serves all of our Christian County constituents, or our members, your constituents. We have our headquarters in Branson. We have another office in Ava, Gainesville, and then in Reed Spring.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else at this time who wish to speak in favor of Bill 3625? I'm sorry, you
I
just
still
got me
think
tickled.
Cameron's had more airtime than I have, though. So I just want to say White River Electric has been a great partner with Show Me Christian County. We also work with Liberty Utilities. We work with other cooperatives as well. I just want to say that this is opening up quite a bit of opportunity for us in discussions with developers who are currently in the county, who are wanting to annex in. So there's additional incentives and opportunities with financial support through USDA, through the cooperatives. So this is the franchise agreement is one step to be able to continue the partnership actually in the city limits of Ozark. So we're excited about this partnership and about this bill. So
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak in favor of Bill number 3625? Yes.
Good evening, Mayor, Alderman. My name is Brett Roball, 4640 Stonebrook Court, Springfield, Missouri. I'm here tonight on behalf of the developer group that's working on the redevelopment of the Warren property at 65 and South Street. I don't live here in Ozark, I live in Springfield, but I wanted you all to know that, in addition to price, another thing that at least that I'm always interested in is service. And since we first sort of had this idea in our head of this project, we've worked got introduced to White River early, and we worked with them all the way throughout this redevelopment process, and they've just been excellent to work with, very helpful, suggestive, give us some information on some possible loan programs that are out there that we didn't know anything about, and just been very helpful from day one through today and going into the future. They will be servicing that property as it gets redeveloped. So I just want to let you know a little bit of personal experience about interaction and service with White River. They've been great.
Good.
So supportive with us. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else who will speak in favor of Bill number 3625? Okay. Anyone here who wants to speak against Bill 3625. I'm not seeing movement. I'm going to close to public discussion and board final response. Yes, ma'am.
I worked in a city as an economic developer, and that city, the entire city was served by a cooperative. And it was a great experience. Those people cared as much as we did about our city, and some of them lived in the city and some did not. Many did not. But they did projects with us as a cooperative partner, where it took some of their money as well and some of their staff time, and they volunteered, their staff volunteered time on projects within the city. And then we were all partners as well as at our residences, and about every 2 or 3 years, we'd get a check in the mail as a share. So it was a really great experience in every way.
Thank you. Alderman Snyder.
No, I just want to say I've heard nothing but positive about White River. I personally know a lot of folks in your organization, and they're top-notch and professional. I do like the fact that they're family-owned and they're homegrown. So it speaks volumes.
Yeah. Yes, Alderman Galloway.
Yeah, echoing that, you hear about locally owned and responsive, and in particular, I appreciate the terms within the agreement for dark sky compliance.
Yeah.
And for the use of energy efficient lighting. Really appreciate those terms.
Okay. Anyone else from the board? I'm not seeing. Bill number 365 be held to a future meeting. We're now going to draw to bill number 3626.
Yes, Your Honor. I make a motion that we place bill number 3626 on its first reading by title only.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is to place bill number 3626 on its first reading by title only. That was made by Alderman Campbell. It was sent by Alderman Galloway. All in favor of voting to discuss bill number 3626, do so by show of hands. And it does carry.
An ordinance approving a funding agreement between the City of Ozark, Missouri and Missouri Commercial Development LLC relating to the development of the Ozark Marketplace project. I'll introduce this bill. The city heard earlier tonight a proposal related to a preliminary plat for a development at 65 and South Street. These developers have an option to submit a proposal to the city related to economic development incentives. The city, as you know, recently contracted with Gilmore Bell, which is a law firm, to review economic development incentive proposals. And as part of that process, or really the first step of the process, the city needs to enter into a contract with the developer to establish a funding mechanism for their review. So what this contract does tonight is it sets up the mechanism for the developer to give the city funding. Then it tells us how we're going to use the funding, and it establishes the rights and the responsibilities between the city and the developer related to the funding. And we will use that then to work through the incentives that will come before the board later, and it allows our attorney to review the developer's proposal. So this is just the first step. It just sets in place the funding for the next steps. It does establish that they will give to the city a deposit. The deposit is $15,000. At any time, as the city spends the funds on the review with Gilmore Bell, the developer will continue to deposit funds to keep that cash balance at $15,000. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. The developer is also here related to this bill.
Any questions for our city attorney? Okay, I am not seeing any. So at this time, we're going to open up the public discussion. Anyone here who will speak for bill 3626? Okay, welcome.
Brett Robel again, thank you. Here on behalf of the developer group. We're fully supportive and understanding of the funding agreement. We're happy to pay for the review, legal fee review for economic incentives that we're going to request, which will be 100% in line with what we talked about in our breakfast meeting back in July, I believe, of this year. We are getting very, very close. We're getting very close. This is just the step we need to get over in order for us to get to the next step, which will be submitting these to you for your review and hopefully for your approval. And really for that reason, because we are getting so close, we're a little bit behind. We would like to get construction completed and frankly, start getting vertical construction going on next year in 2025. in order to help us with that, I'm going to respectfully request that you expedite this bill, and happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Not seeing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else here who wants to speak for bill number 3626?
Last time I just, on this development, as I mentioned earlier, 2.5 years. This has been a long time coming, and this is the step that we need to take. And so to hit their timelines and the contracts that they have already set, they need to be able to move this forward more quickly. So I'm glad that that this agreement with Gilmore Bell has been established, and that way we can honestly expedite this even more. So we're excited about this.
Okay, anyone else here who will speak for bill 3626? Okay, anyone here who will speak against bill 3626? Okay, I'm not seeing movement. I'm going to close it to public discussion now. Any final comments from the board? Okay, now the developer has made a request that bill number 3626 be expedited tonight.
Yes, Your Honor, I make a motion that we adopt bill number 3626 as ordinance number 092. Am I out?
A little bit early.
Do I need to read it, ask for a reading first?
Yeah, yes, we have to do a reading first.
Okay, sorry.
So it'll be the second reading by title only. So,
Yes,
okay.
I make a motion, we do the second
Is there a
reading.
second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we place bill number 3626 on a second reading by title only. This motion was made by Alderman Campbell, second by Alderman Galloway. All in favor of voting on this motion to discuss bill 3626, we do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance approving a funding agreement between the City of Ozark, Missouri and Missouri Commercial Development LLC relating to the development of the Ozark Marketplace project.
Okay. Any further questions from the board for our city attorney? I'm not seeing any. Yes, no, sir.
No, what I said. I make a motion that we adopt bill number 3626 as ordinance number 24-092.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we adopt bill number 3626 to become ordinance 24-092. This motion was made by Alderman Campbell, second by Alderman Galloway. Roll call, please.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay. Now we'll move on to our bills number 9 and 10. And just for clarification, remember, we had an email explaining about these two, about the change that took place. So we're first going to be dealing with bill number 3627.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3627 on its first reading by title only.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place bill number 3627 on its first reading by title only. That was made by Alderman Galloway, the second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on this motion to discuss bill 3627, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the budget for fiscal year 2024.
Okay, and we'll now recognize our finance director, Mary Edna Wilson.
Well, nothing too much has changed. These are still the amendments for the 24 budget, and as we presented them the last time, the only line item change in all of this is the $300,000 in ARPA funds that were allocated to the Neil Grubaugh Park bathroom project. That the bids, and Hayden, please correct me if I say something incorrect, the bids came in much higher, and it doesn't appear that we'll be able to do that project at this time. There was some concern about the ARPA funds being allocated according to the requirements of those funds. And so to be sure that it'll be a couple of years before anybody would come and look at it, but to be sure that there's not ever a question of the city having to return those funds, we felt it was better to bring it back to you as an amended first reading to get that clarified. So we have changed those funds from the bathroom projects to the HVAC project at the OC. That's a large project. It's a one-time project. It follows what we have done with ARPA funds in the past. And it's in the same department as the overall park system. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Alderman Galloway.
What was the bid for the bathroom?
I'm gonna let.
I don't have the bid tab with me, but approximately $600,000 for a concrete pad, pavilion, and pre-manufactured bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about double what the engineer's estimate called for.
Yes. Yeah. Any other questions for our financial director? Besides the shock of the bathroom. Okay. Yes,
Just
Oh,
sir.
for clarification, we won't be penalized for reallocating those funding in any
No,
way. Is
that's
that
the
correct?
reason we're doing this amendment is to we're ensuring that they are reallocated by changing them in the 24 budget amendments because that project has been awarded, the HVAC project has been, and it will be continued in 25. And so in a few minutes, you'll see the amended 25 budget presented as well, because that way it covers both years. So if there's ever a question about the of those funds, it is to a project that already has a contract in place. So we think this will certainly clarify any question there might be about it.
Thank you.
Any other questions for our director? Okay, thank you. Again, this is first reading. I'm going to open up bill number 3627. Is anyone here who would speak for this bill? Okay, anyone want to speak against it? I'm seeing no, I'm going to close it, public discussion then. Any final? No. The city wishes for this bill to be expedited tonight. And so,
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3627 on its second reading by title only.
do we have a second? Okay. The motion is that we read on second reading by title only, Bill 3627. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Campbell. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3627, do so by show of hands. And it does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the budget for fiscal year 2024.
Okay, any further questions for our financial director? Okay, I am not seeing any, so.
Your Honor, I move that we enact bill number 3627 as ordinance number 24-093.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we enact bill number 3627 to become ordinance 24-093. This motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Hutchinson. Roll call, please.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay, now we'll move on to bill number 3628.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3628 on its first reading by title only.
Second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is we place bill number 3628 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on this motion to discuss bill 3628, do so by the show of hands. And that does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, adopting a budget for the 2025 fiscal year.
Okay, we'll now recognize our city administrator.
Your Honor, I'm happy to make comments about this item. This budget is consistent with the presentation that I provided at our last board meeting, with the exception of one amendment, and that relates to the item that you just approved. This will include a $300,000 allocation that will go to the OC HVAC system instead of the Neil Grubaugh inclusive bathrooms. It does not change the total of the budget. It simply reallocates from one line item to another and ensures that we will be in compliance with the Federal Funding Act. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. we would ask that you consider expediting this, please.
Any questions for our city administrator? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Okay, again, this is a first reading as up to the public. Anyone here who would speak for bill number 3628? No motion. Anybody here who would speak against bill 3628? Okay, I'm going to close the public discussion. Any final board comments? Nope. Again, the city wishes this to be expedited.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3628 on its second reading by title only.
Seconded by?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we place bill number 3628 on second reading by title only, and this motion is made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Hutchinson. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill 3628, do so by show of hands, and that does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, adopting a budget for the 2025 fiscal year.
Okay. Any further questions for our city administrator? I'm not seeing any.
Your Honor, I move that we enact bill number 3628 as ordinance number 24-094.
Seconded by?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we enact bill 3628 to become ordinance 24-094. This motion was made by Alderman Galloway, the same Alderman Hutchinson. Roll call, please.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay. We now have a resolution number 2013.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we read Resolution 2013.
Okay, that's correct. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we read resolution number 2013. That was made by Alderman Metcalf. It was seconded by Alderman Campbell. All in favor of voting on this motion to discuss resolution 2013, do so by show of hands, and that does carry.
A resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Ozark, Missouri, approving one reappointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This proposes to reappoint Caleb Berger to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a 4-year term. He was currently filling an unfinished term, and so that's why it has expired so quickly.
Any comments from our assistant city administrator?
Yes, the planning and zoning chairman did reach out to Mr. Berger to see if he was interested in reappointment. He was. Since his short time with the commission, he's been heavily engaged with our applications and following those process. His background is in the construction industry, but we'd be happy to have him reappointed to our commission.
Okay, any questions for us, Cameron? Well, excuse me, assistant city administrator. Sorry. Okay, I'm not seeing any. This is, again, a resolution, and we do have to open it up this time to public discussion. Anyone here who will speak for resolution number 213 from the audience? You're not coming up? Sorry. Okay. Okay, anyone here who's opposed to this resolution 2013? I'm not seeing movement. I'm going to close this now. Any final board comments? Nope. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I move that we enact Resolution 2013.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, the motion is that we adopt resolution 21013. That was made by Alderman Metcalf. It was seconded by Alderman Campbell. All in favor of voting on this motion to approve resolution 2013, do so by show of hands. And it does carry. Okay, now we're going to be moving to our second readings. And just as a note of reference, bill number 1 and 2, which is 3613 and 3614, are going to die because we already did this business on bill number 9 and 10. So we're actually now going to proceed to number 3, which is bill number 3615.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3615 on its second reading by title only.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is to replace Bill number 3615 on second reading by title only. This motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting with motion to discuss Bill number 3615, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into and execute a contract with the Ozark Chamber of Commerce for professional services.
Okay, and recognize our city administrator again.
Your Honor, don't have any further comments to make on this particular item. Would appreciate your consideration tonight.
Okay. Any questions for him regarding this contract? I see no questions. Okay.
Your Honor, I move that we enact Bill number 3615 as ordinance number 24-095.
Do we have, okay. Okay, the motion is enact Bill number 3615. It's going to become ordinance 24-095. This motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Campbell. Roll call, please.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay, now we're going to move on to Bill number 3616.
I make a motion that we place bill number 3616 on its second reading by title only.
Seconded by,
Second.
okay. The motion is that we place Bill number 3616 on its second reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Campbell, seconded by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3616, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Christian County regarding the county government plaza development. I'm happy to answer any questions related to this contract.
Okay, do we have any questions for our city attorney? Okay, I am not seeing any, so.
I do have a request.
Yes.
Could you just explain to us what this allows the county to do? Are you up on that? I'm sure you are.
Yeah, it does a number of things. So this really is going to formalize the way that the county development moves through the remainder of the planning process, which would be the final plat, and how they manage then the selling of lots within that development. It also manages the timing of when the city will take on the infrastructure, because there is some sewer infrastructure that the city will take on at a certain time when it's available for gravity flow, and then the other infrastructure as well. So it has a lot of different components to it, but specifically to what it allows them to do, it allows them to continue their development in an appropriate time. The county wants to develop their parcels that they will inspect themselves and manage the construction themselves, because they are also a government agency and have authority from the state to do that. So they've asked for the city to remove ourselves from that inspection process, but we will be inspecting the remainder of the lots that are sold to private development for other commercial development. So it just delineates who's doing what for each project in that regard.
I make a motion that we enact bill number 3616 as ordinance number 24-096.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we enact Bill 3616 to become ordinance 24-096. This motion was made by Alderman Campbell. It was seconded by Alderman Snyder. Roll call, please.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Now we're going to turn attention to Bill number 3617.
I make a motion that we place bill number 3617 on second reading by title only.
Seconded by,
Second.
the motion is that we place Bill number 3617 on second reading by title only. This was made by Alderman Aiken. It was seconded by Alderman Metcalf. All in favor of voting to discuss Bill 3617, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, establishing sewer connection fees.
Okay. Any additional comments from our Public Works Director? Any questions for him? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so
I move that we adopt Bill 3617 as ordinance number 24-097.
A second.
okay. The motion is that we adopt Bill 3617 to become ordinance 24-9, excuse me, let me say it again, ordinance 24-097. That motion was made by Alderman Aiken. It was seconded by Alderman Metcalf. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay, our last bill for the evening is Bill number 3618.
Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3618 on its second reading by title only.
Seconded by,
Second.
the motion is that we take Bill number 3618 on its second reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3618, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, approving the 2025 fee study establishing certain city fees. I'm happy to answer any
Okay.
questions. The department directors are also available if you have questions about their specific fees.
Any questions for any of our directors? Yes, sir.
Well, this is not so much a question, but just a statement to the rest of the board here. We've had discussion about the possibility of seeking the use tax again. Okay, that's no secret that that's something I think would be a good thing to help us with some funding issues that we're having with our public safety. My concern is that if we have an increase in any fee across the board here, this is any fee within any department, and the public sees those fees, and we choose to go back and ask for some type of a ballot initiative for a use tax, what is the perception? That's my concern about that. And I do not feel comfortable with a fee increase and then going and asking for a use tax. I'd like to get the input from the rest of the board.
Any comments? Yes, Alderman Galloway, you're next.
Yeah, I mean, the question comes from a good place. You're trying to maximize something that is critical for this community, which is to have a well-funded public safety organization. And I'm listening to that question for the first time. I think my reaction is that we're going to have to spend some time educating the public about this issue. But one thing that can be part of that education is, these fees are just designed to cover the cost of the work of the staff. And for that reason, it's fiscally responsible for us to raise them, particularly in a year where we've had those costs go up. And that is how it's designed. I'm also not sure that the fees are going up to an extent that it would cause outcry from what I'm seeing, but that's just my reaction listening to it. And like I said, I think the question comes from a good place, but that would be my inclination.
No, and I respect that wholeheartedly. What I see is we've had a failure with this use tax. How many times now? 2, 3?
3.
So we're going to choose to go after it one more time, but then folks see an increase here, and I do believe perception would be bad, and I think we're setting ourselves up for failure.
Yes, Alderman Hutchinson.
I guess the way I think about it, and that I would tell the people who live in my district, is that the fees that are enacted are for individuals who want special services? And why should everyone in the city have their tax money pay for those special interests that are happening? And that's really not fair to everyone who pays taxes. And the use fee, I think we're still looking at having it totally dedicated to public safety. So that can't be used to subsidize these special fees that particular people want, those services.
And again, I do see that point, but I think perception would put a bad taste in folks' mouth. I'm not going to vote for this. I will vote against a fee increase right now because we're trying to seek public safety issues.
Campbell.
I think everybody that's spoken so far makes good points. When I think about it, I don't know that I can justify, and I'm going to use terms here that might seem a little extreme, and I don't mean it that way. If we need sewer connection fees increases, I don't see why that should suffer. And by the same token, we need public safety funding. But I don't think the two need to be intertwined. I think if we need sewer connection fees, we need sewer connection fees. We need to cover our costs. That's the fiscally responsible thing to do. If we need more money for public safety, let's get out there and work hard and sell it to the public. They're two separate things in my mind.
Yes, Metcalf.
Yeah, I guess I'll chime in. I think Alderman Snyder brings up a valid point about perception. Perception is reality. People perceive it, they will vote. So I think it's wise to consider what people's perceptions are going to be. And so I think it is the city's job and our job to educate and to communicate and to change perception. I agree with the other board members that have spoken that we need to be fiscal responsible. And, if the use tax would have passed, maybe when it should have passed 10 years ago, whenever, it wouldn't be an issue, but that's the fight that we have. And I think it's our job to communicate effectively and change the people's perception.
Okay. Alderman Aiken.
And since you solicited our input, Alderman Snyder, I'll add that my preference would be that we raise fees incrementally in small increments rather than these fees fall behind the costs for a year or two and setting a precedent of not updating them and then be in a position where we have to increase them by, a more dramatic amount. So that's another consideration. We're in a position like Alderman Galloway said, I think, where these fee increases represent fairly small incremental increases.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I think maybe my takeaway is this. You bring up a point which I know I hadn't thought of till I came to this meeting. And although I'm inclined to vote for this bill for the reasons that have been stated by me and others, I think the other side of the discussion is that we really are going to have to be transparent and very plain about what it is we're doing and why. We got to be mindful of it. And this is one thing I have to say, that perception bit, I'm really glad you brought it up.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, not hearing any.
Your Honor, I move that we adopt enact Bill number 3618 as ordinance number 24-098.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we enact Bill 3618 to become ordinance 24-098. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Aiken. Roll call, please.
Alderman Snyder,
Nay.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 nay vote. Motion carries.
Now we'll move on to reports. We'll begin with our city administrator, Eric Johnson.
Yes, sir. First of all, have you noticed the microphones are all working tonight? Very well. And I just want to thank Maria and Ben and anyone else who, over the last couple of weeks, were working diligently to fix our problems and to get rid of the gremlins that we've had in here. I believe everything's been working well tonight, so thank you for that. We have a holiday lunch tomorrow that you are aware of and you've been invited to. It starts at 11 o'clock at the OC. This is an employee holiday lunch. Hope you can make it. You have a non-legislative meeting this Thursday at 9 o'clock, and you will be going into a closed session. So that's at 9 on Thursday. Also, Chris Russell mentioned it to you. You have this Thursday, the Chamber of Commerce lunch, which starts usually very promptly at 11:30. We will be closed Christmas Eve, which is December 24th, closed Christmas Day, the 25th. We will also be closed New Year's Day on January 1st, which means the next time we'll be meeting as a group, I believe, will be January 6th, 2025. We'll do our best to load up the agenda so that we can have another 3-hour meeting like we had tonight. If that's okay with you, that'd be a great way to start the new year, don't you think?
That's a closed meeting beforehand, just
Yes,
Yeah, let's
we
make
can
that.
start at 5:30.
Okay.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Planning and Development Department, monthly report.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd be happy to answer any questions on the staff report. I don't have anything specifically to add to that. However, I do want to let you know that we do not plan to have a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting in December. We have nothing for the agenda, so there will be nothing come from our department in the second meeting in January.
So there's no Thursday meeting either.
There's no December meeting.
Any questions for him?
I do.
Yes, sir.
So January 6th now's a date that has 3 important feelings for me. Number 1 is the 3-hour meeting to look forward to. Number 2, it's the day of Epiphany. And number 3, it's my 53rd wedding anniversary.
We'll add an extra hour.
Oh, man. Okay, hope. Okay, yes. Now move to our OC Park and Recreation Department.
Good evening. I'll keep it short. Ultimately, I don't have anything to add beyond the fact that the light installation and pool repair is going very well. If you have not had a chance to stop by the OC in the evening, I did not know a pool could be so bright, and they're not even finished yet. And so it's a substantial improvement.
No, it's a major improvement.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it Saturday.
So much safer and much brighter and much happier, in addition to all the other repairs and things that are being done. So happy to answer any additional questions.
Okay, yes.
Thank you for waiting for over 3 hours to give us that report.
Hey, absolutely. I can talk about lights all night,
Okay.
but yeah, I won't.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, any comments from the board? Okay, yes,
Merry Christmas.
okay, that is very true. Okay, we have on schedule a closed session. Go ahead.
I move that we postpone the matters set for closed session today to our meeting on Thursday, already scheduled for a closed session.
Second.
Okay, now is this a show of hands or roll call? I need clarification.
Well, this would be, you're amending the agenda and those were actionable items, so you would have to take a roll call vote on that.
Okay,
On each one. There were two items scheduled for closed session. One, the litigation has no issue, but there may be some comments from the city administrator related to the personnel item.
yes, sir.
If you, we would very much appreciate it if you would keep this closed session tonight. One of the personnel matters involves the potential hiring of an employee who has to give notice. And it would be potentially detrimental to our process, our hiring process, if we're not able to provide that individual with clear guidance tomorrow morning.
Okay,
All right. At the risk of being hated by my fellow, I'm going to withdraw my motion.
and yeah, also, okay. Okay, now, let's go now to a motion to go in closed session.
So moved.
Second by,
Second.
okay, the motion is to go in closed session. Motion made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Metcalf. Roll call, please.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay, motion was made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor, do so by show of hands. It carries. We adjourn. Thank you all very much tonight.